Hey there, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. A little bit ago, I had a look at Katie Lang singing Crying, the Roy Orbison classic. On that video, a lot of people recommended for me to have a look at Hallelujah, at her version of that, and I have to admit, I have already seen it. However, I will admit, it has been years since I've seen it. I remember it being good. I remember it being very good. But what I want to do is I want to go back through it now. I want to hear it again. Because when I went through it the first time, when I would have heard it, I wouldn't have been able to go through it as analytically as what I do now. And I kind of want to see how my ear has changed over the course of, however many years it's been since I actually have heard this version. So come along with me for this one. Before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. If you have not subscribed, I'd highly appreciate it if you did so. But without any further ado, let's have a listen to Katie Lang performing Hallelujah.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya?
Wow.
Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, major left, a baffled king composing hallelujah.
Oh.
Hallelujah,
Ooh.
hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. For those new to the channel, I do like to pause and kind of go through what I am hearing, and there's something that I want to point out here, right? That it is an immaculate voice. It's so rich. The tone is beautiful. It is very, very well controlled. The breathing work is on point. Now, something that it's a little bit of a speculation as to what's happening here, but let me kind of go through it. So where we've got here this kind of opening section, let's have a listen to parts of this again.
You don't really care for music,
Do ya?
well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, major left, a baffled king composing hallelujah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, sorry, I had to listen to that whole section again because it's absolutely stunning. I wanted to pause it and kind of break it up, but it kind of felt wrong to do. So what I like to talk about, because everybody kind of handles this differently, is something that we call like resonant centers, right? And that's where the air is resonating within our mouths. Nearly bit my tongue saying that. Mouths and throat. For some reason, my tongue is not awake today, and I have no idea why, and it is making it very, very difficult to talk. So, in her case, it is an incredibly neutral position. What I mean by that is, it's kind of like, the sound is kind of like midway, maybe a little bit further back than kind of... So, midway is kind of where the soft palate and the hard palate meets in the roof of your mouth. So, at the front, right behind your teeth, that's your hard palate, and the further you go back, it becomes your soft palate. It feels like, or it sounds like to me, the lower kind of sections here are in that middle section, and then the higher she gets, she pulls it back further into that soft palate area, giving her more control over opening that kind of while giving that almost cavernous sort of sound to it. But then she kind of threw her head up a little bit, which is something that we tend to not do as singers. And the reason that we don't do it is because when we're kind of standing in a neutral position, you kind of have your head down a little bit. And the reason for that is the air, like the windpipe, is kind of positioned like, if I can angle my hand right, it's kind of positioned like that a little bit. So if you then lift your neck up, it kind of brings it doesn't necessarily bring it up like I just did then. It kind of more does like that. And it kind of, puts what we call a chicane into there, and it makes the air a little bit harder to get out. And I suspect when she sings the word hallelujah in this section here, how she has that, it's not a yodel, but it almost yodel sound to it. I think that's why she's done that, to get that almost sound, and then make that happen. Hallelujah! The way she does that, oh, it's wonderful.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
And that's something I want to point out too, is that, so obviously in Katie Lang's case, right, she's a master at what she does. A lot of people that cover this song don't change it much. And I understand the reason as to why. Because in a lot of cases, a lot of people look at the songs and go, it's beautiful the way it is, don't mess with it. But, fact of the matter is, I think the rule should be, if you can't do it better, don't mess with it. In Katie Lang's case, she's definitely putting that emotion in a lot better. And it's a large part of why I think she's changed the melody a little bit in little sections, just to really set it apart, and it helps her really get that emotion that she connects to across. And I think that's a real big contributing factor here.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty, and the moonlight overthrew ya.
Ooh, hang on a second.
Moonlight overthrew ya.
Overthrew ya.
Moonlight overthrew ya.
Overthrew ya. Here's how much of a master she is, right? When students are coming through and they're very new to it, and then very new to singing, I mean, they will throw trills in, and they will usually throw a trill in at the start or the end of a line, and Katie Lang just goes, hang on, hold my beer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's kind of gone, here's where you put it. You put it in the point that's going to make it the most emotive, and that's what I tell my students as well. Put it in the place that is going to emote what you're feeling better. And what she has done there was just, it's made me melt a little bit.
And the moonlight overthrew ya. Well, she tied you to her kitchen chair, broke your throne and cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah.
Wow. One more time. Sorry, I keep going back. I'm wondering though, because the more she always gets that sound, that almost pained sound, and I don't want to use the word pained as a negative. I'm saying, like, as part of her emotional presentation. When she's put her head up like that, I'm wondering if I'm onto something that she kind of does that on purpose to help her there. And honestly, when it comes to a lot of students wanting to copy an emotion like that, it is such a slippery slope. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to do it properly, and it takes a fair bit of practice to be able to kind of do that. Whereas a lot of people that kind of go, oh, I can make that sound happen, are forcing it too much. She's doing it in such a brilliant way. So good.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Beautiful. Interesting choice to be barefoot on a stage like that, but...
I've been here before. I've seen this room. I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. But I saw your flag on the marble arch. Our love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken heart. Hallelujah.
Interesting. That's stunning. What a stunning voice.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
Very nice. Okay, I need a moment here too. That bend over is crazy to me. And the reason I say that, so we stand in an upright position when we sing, right? And a large part of that is to not impede the abs and the diaphragm from taking air in and out. Bending over that way constricts all of that so much. But for her to have just done that, and there is just no wavering in the tone and in the sound that she does, I can only put that to practice and being able to kind of what's the word? I suppose manipulate would be the word, really. Manipulate the I was about to say physiology, and my brain is screaming at me that that's the wrong word. Basically manipulate all of the muscles in that section in order to compensate for that constriction. Because even as I like bend over like that, you can hear that it takes more air to get the voice out, and that a large part of that is because of that compression. But for her to just be like that, to be able to just bring it out like that, and again, no wavering in tonality, in volume, or any indicator at all that there was something constricting her there, that's wild. That is wild.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So the resonance center is very different when she's got her head up like that. That's very interesting.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Absolutely stunning. I'm glad that they've kept this dragging on for the applause, because she deserves it. Oh my god. Okay, let's go to final thoughts on that. Whoa. I remembered it being good. I did. I remembered that it was a very good cover of this song. And but I wasn't really able to put into words at the time as to why. And now I think I can. What we have here, right? Now this is going to sound a little blasphemous, okay? The song Alleluia, when you break it down, right? If it's not performed with the utmost emotion, the song itself is a bit meh. And I do mean that because, the range is relatively impressive, but the tempo that it's at, the arrangement that it is, and depending on how many of the verses you do, because if I remember rightly, there were a stupid number of verses written for this song originally, which, frankly, I'm glad that it was cut down because otherwise it would have been boring. If you don't have the emotion in this song, the song has nothing. In my opinion, without that, it's the most mid song that you really want to just be over and done with. In my time doing Eisteddfods and talent quests and that sort of thing, when I was kind of learning, this song came up a lot. And that is one, and it's part of the reason why I'm a little bit salty towards the song now, is that it was sung to death, and 80 to 90% of the time, it was what I just described. Emotionless, almost just reciting the song rather than actually putting any real effort into it at all. What we have here with K.D. Lang's version here is the epitome of emotive singing. Now, I've spoken on many an occasion before about when a singer will compromise on technique for the emotion and vice versa. Because when a singer is not a, full-blown vocal master, that's what they'll do. They'll usually sacrifice one for the other. In her case here, there was no sacrifice. There was no sacrifice in quality. There was no sacrifice in the way that the technique was performed. It was just pure emotive brilliance with great technique. It's my personal opinion. Different singing teachers will have a different opinion on this, I'm sure. But I think I'm pretty safe in saying that probably 75 to 80% of singing teachers will agree with me that breathing is absolutely the fundamental. Breathing is where most of your issues lie. If you can't hit a note, you can look at the breathing a lot of the time. Like if you're not quite hitting it, like if you outright can't do it, that's a different thing. That's a physiology thing. And sometimes you can work up to those notes. Sometimes it's unreasonable. All depends on the person, all depends on the voice. But I need to just say too, when you start to add things like effects to the voice, AFFECT, when you start trying to do trills and try to do the fancy add-ons, the additions to the voice, the thing that tends to be the first to go in terms of technique is that breathing. And she is just living proof that breathing is absolutely the most important thing. Her breathing never wavered. Not for a second. Like, that was just brilliant. And maybe I need to do like a masterclass on breathing and use her as an example, because she's got some lungs, man. Like, really, she's got some lungs. But anyway, that's all the time I have for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this kind of breakdown. Also, in the description is a form, a Google form that you can use to let me know what to react to next. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe, all that sort of thing. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us further and join the wonderful list of people here, we have a Patreon that you can join from as little as $3 Australian per month. And if you like gaming and film reviews, you can join us over at Griever Gaming or Griever Film and TV. Links in the description below. Griever Film and TV is one that I've still yet to launch, but hopefully that'll be soon. Alright, see you soon.